Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to my Patrick Troughton Top 10 Doctor Who stories. And today I'm just going to be running through my favourites of Patrick Troughton, in that made my top 10, which has been really hard to decide because Patrick's my favourite Doctor, and there's not one of his stories I don't think is either good or above to brilliant. But I just go through, like I did with my John Pertwee reviews, just go through why I like each one and why it's made my top 10 of Patrick's. But it was very hard to do so, but I have them at last. And I'll just go from 10 down to 1. And at number 10 we have The Seeds of Death. And why I love this story so much is for plenty of reasons. For one reason, the actors involved in it are all absolutely superb. Ronald Lee Hunt, for a start, definitely deserves a mention, as he's always been an actor I've loved, and he's always been a good actor and all, and he acts brilliantly in Freewheelers, but this was previous to Freewheelers, and he is absolutely superb as Commander Radner in this. And also Philip Ray as Professor Eldred, and Louise Pajot as Gia Kelly as well. All of those characters I absolutely love, and they make this story brilliant. And then we have Alan Benyon as Slar with his first appearance as an Ice Lord, and boy does he make an impression, and he's a right evil little creep. And that is why number 10 goes to, and also I just have to mention another reason why I love this. So it's got so many brilliant comedy sections in it, especially with all the fungus, with Patrick in particular, and his famous mirror scene. That is just absolutely class. And the whole genius scene as well, which is one of my favourite scenes of his ever, and so that's why this is number 10. And then we have The Power of the Daleks. And what I am really looking forward to seeing this come out on DVD soon as animated reconstruction, which I am thrilled about. But just by going and listening to this soundtrack, I can tell this is a brilliant story. It's got some brilliant actors in it. Bernard Archard for a start, who's absolutely superb as Bragan. And also, Patrick Troughton makes an absolutely fantastic debut. And the Daleks in this story are more devious and cunning than they've ever been, and more than they've ever been since, really. This is one of the most devious and really delightful stories because of that. That they pretend to be good. And this is the best story where they've had that element, because there's been some new series, ones that have recycled that plot element, and not very well indeed. But that is why this story is a fantastic debut from Patrick, and that's why it comes in at number 9. At number 8, we have that last pure historical Doctor Who, The Highlanders. And why I love this story so much is because it's just got so much brilliant comedy in it. Patrick Troughton is absolutely at his whimsical best in this story. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrously funny with his dressing up as and pretending to be German doctors, and then dressing up as an old woman, which is particularly one of my favourite bits ever. And considering this is a love story and only on audio, I wish and hope that this one will be one that's found one day. And that's why this one, and also Polly gets a lot more of a central role in this story, and she's got really strong character in this story, which isn't really matched by any of her other stories, apart from maybe Power of the Daleks, which I've mentioned before. But she's just so good in this story, and I'd call this her best appearance as Polly. She's absolutely brilliant, and that's why this comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have The Space Pirates. And the reason I love this story is because of many things. It has brilliant scenes with Milo Clancy, who I think Robert Holmes has made one of his first brilliant characters. He was always well known for his really funny and really brilliant and well done characters, and Milo Clancy for me is one of the first of them. He's done him brilliantly, and the actor who played him was superb. And Patrick's scenes in just the surviving episode part 2 that can be still seen, I just find it absolutely brilliant. And then with his Zoe, don't be such a pessimist scene, and oh, what a silly idiot I am when he realises what he's done with sending off the segments of the beacons, not be sent them shooting off instead of attracting them, and I just absolutely love it. It's brilliant, and I would never ever say that this story is boring or doesn't deserve to be found, or if it is found, I don't think anyone would be interested, like I've heard some people say, but I certainly will be interested because I love this story, and that's why it comes in at number 6. Then at number 5 we have The Faceless Ones, which is, for me, is a fantastic story, and I find the chameleons in this a really creepy and disturbing looking alien, and the actors who play them are so soulless, and it's brilliantly done. And as a goodbye to Polly and Ben, it's a really good goodbye that they end up being back the day they left, which I find really clever and really cool in this story, especially for this time. And they actually get decent goodbye, and this is where Fraser Hines as Jamie gets to come more to the fore as a companion, and boy does he, and he even gets to have a little smooch with Pauline Collins on this, who I think is absolutely superb as Samantha Briggs on this. Absolutely phenomenal character, and that's why this comes in at number 5. Then we have the second Patrick Troughton Dalek story, Evil of the Daleks. Love this story. The Daleks reverse into children and getting put back to children is just an absolutely brilliant idea. And getting to see Patrick's more manipulative side to his Doctor is also really good. And seeing the Emperor Dalek for the first time in the history of the show, and by far the best Emperor Dalek as well, is here on the Evil Daleks. And this story is such a strong story, and it is one of the best plotted and one of the best maintained 7-parters of the whole history of the show. There's not one dull moment in this story. It builds up pace so brilliantly, and it keeps you infused right to the end, and that's why this comes in at number 5. At number 4, number 5. Sorry, that's just me having one of my weird moments. I'm not like anyone else whose reviews would be word perfect, because I don't read from the script. I just read from my memory and why I love them. So sorry if anyone gets a bit annoyed about me saying the wrong number. But then we have at number 4, we have Enemy of the World. Love this story. Patrick Troughton, superb. If the Doctor Who classic series should ever get awards, then Patrick Troughton should get an award for his appearance as both the Doctor and Salamander in this story. He makes this story. His acting is absolutely astoundingly good in this, and the story itself is so good, so well paced, so well plotted. A brilliant James Bond-esque thriller, and it's absolutely brilliant. And the character of Griff in the third part is brilliant comic light relief. This story has it all, and I'm so glad it was discovered. It's absolutely amazing story, and that's why it comes in at number 4. Then at number 3, we have The Invasion. Kevin Stoney, that gives a masterful performance as Vaughan, one of the most powerful and brilliantly acted characters I ever thought in the classic series of Doctor Who. Some absolutely class and classic memories of Cybermen coming out of the sewer scenes, and their freaky sounded voices. I think their Cybermen voices in this story are absolutely amazing and creepy, and they sound about the most alien thing that's ever been attempted on Doctor Who. And this does not seem like an 8-parter. This seems like a 4-parter, how quick and fast paced it is. And it is absolutely brilliant. Everyone in it is so absolutely brilliant. And that is why it comes in at number 3. Number 2, Wheel in Space. The tension that builds up in this episode to finding out what the Cybermen are going to do, how they get aboard the wheel, how they get control of people, and the way this story's plotted, how it unravels, I just find it brilliant. There's loads of people who say this story is boring, tedious, and no, I don't think so. There's episode 5, which I think is a masterclass of building up suspense. Absolutely edge of your seat moments on that episode. And Patrick is brilliant. This contains one of my favourites ever of his scenes, of his "You Know Our Way" scene with the 2 Cybermen in the room in the wheel. That is one of my classiest moments of his Doctor ever. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it, even I'd say just as much as his "whoa, whoa, whoa" scene in The Invasion, where he's being fired at by a Cyberman. I forgot to mention that before, but that's why I love that at number 3. But I love this story even better because I just think the Cybermen are at their motionless best. They just stand towering over everyone, and it's absolutely perfectly paced and absolutely corking story. So that's why this comes in at number 2. But my all-time favourite, as I've seen is actually the case with quite a lot of people who've done Patrick Troughton, I would say that my favourite is the War Games. 10 episode epic, but no way does this ever get stilted or slow or repetitive. It's got so much action, got so much brilliant acting all the way through it, some amazing characters. Patrick Troughton has one of the best and most heartbreaking goodbye scenes to his companions as well. Absolutely heartbreaking. I cried at this scene where he has to say goodbye to Jamie and Zoe. It was that good. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely perfect story for Patrick to go out on. And as this was the last of his regular appearances, I call this his best story and 5 minutes performance ever. And he even gets to be a little bit devious again with this story. And there's just so much of him that's so brilliant in this. He gets comic scenes, he gets serious scenes, he gets absolutely scene-stealing scenes all the way through. And we also get the Time Lords mentioned and introduced for the first time in the series. And they're done so well. They're such aloof and godlike beings that I think somehow was lost a bit when they went on later with other stories and they just came crashing down to earth. I didn't think that was such a bad thing, but in this they just seem so ethereal and huge and different, and you can see how different the Doctor is from them. And I just thought that made the story absolutely incredible, absolutely brilliantly acted, absolutely brilliantly directed. And considering it was a last minute story as well, that also is why I think this story is absolutely just Patrick's finest moment as the Doctor. And why I always call this my favourite of his stories ever. Absolutely class story. Not 1 minute does it ever let up. It has got me hooked from the word go to the end. And especially the last 2 episodes, absolutely brilliant Doctor Who, and some of the best Doctor Who ever. And the whole series of the show is in the last 2 episodes where we start finding out about the Time Lords. Absolutely class. And that's my top 10 Patrick Troughton stories. And that's just on his TV appearances. There's also been some brilliant audio stories done by Big Finish, but I'll do them in another time. But Fraser Hines, I just have to mention, just such a brilliant memorial performance as Patrick in them. And it's just such a brilliant memory of him. And I love Patrick's Doctor. And those stories to my top 10 remind me why he's my favourite Doctor and always will be. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll be doing another one very shortly, and I think I'll make the next one my favourite 7th Doctor stories, and I hope you'll be interested and tune in for that. And thank you very much for listening to my top 10 Patrick stories, and I hope you enjoy it and come back for another one. Thank you very much.